I did not want to do this. Hey everyone, it's Dusty Gogoat. Welcome back to my headcanon. Today we're going to be talking about this new rumor from Riddler Coup. This man has been very credible up until this point. In his latest tweet has listed all of the Pokemon that are not going to be in Generation 8 completely. These Pokemon are already not in Sword and Shield. They won't be in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and they also will not be in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I didn't want to make this video, but when I did see this list and what the implications of what this is, I got pretty heated. Got some flashbacks to the rage that I felt during the National Dex crisis. That sounds so silly to call it a crisis. So this list, you can see it right here. It contains about 60 Pokemon. Right off the bat, this is 60 Pokemon. I don't know why they can't just get the resources to make models for 60 Pokemon. If you make 60 more Pokemon and put them in the game, then like it's done. The full dex is completed and no one can bash on Sword and Shield. In 10 years from now, when people are playing Generation 8, they can enjoy these games with the full roster of Pokemon that were available at this time. But the fact that these Pokemon have been just removed, I don't know, it seems so silly. We've all had these emotions. We've all thought this through over the last 2-3 years. But it's just, I'm just getting a wave of emotions again. And it just seems so frustrating. I don't know, maybe we have it too good as Pokemon fans. I know a lot of other monster hunting games. What happens is that new creatures are introduced, and at the same time, all the old monsters, not all, but some, are cycled out, and that's a normal process. So like, I'm thinking of Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh! There's just some monsters that don't return. Yeah, maybe we just have it too good. Because Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is a faithful remaster of Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, those games will contain every single Pokemon from Generations 1 through Generations 4, which means the only Pokemon on this list really are just Generation 5, 6, and 7. Obviously, all of the Gen 8 Pokemon are in Sword and Shield, as they should be. I do want to note that Samurott is one of the starters in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and the thing with this is I always assumed that the other two starters from the Unova region would be in Legends Arceus. I just thought, okay, that kind of makes sense, right? Like if you can get one, you probably can get the others in post game. Maybe there's some sort of event. Maybe the professor says, I traveled to Unova, I got Oshawott, but I also got Snivy and Tepig. Which one do you want? Something like that I think would have been a nice feature. This rumored list, potentially leaked list, suggests that those starter Pokemon won't be in the game, which is disappointing. We also have Patrat. We've got Pansage, Pansear, and Panpour, and those evolutions. I don't think anyone's going to be batting an eye. Still, it's a Pokemon, right? If they're all equal, they should all be in the game. Okay, now we're gonna get into some territory where I actually am I'm legitimately bummed. The Zebstrika line is awesome. That should be in the game. That's a really cool Pokemon. Swaddle's a nice little, that's a nice Route 1 bug. Ducklet, Swanna. We've got Deerling and Sawsbuck. I could maybe give Game Freak a pass in the past for excluding Pokemon that have like a lot of different forms. This is a Pokemon. There are two Pokemon that actually is 8 Pokemon because of their different forms. And we'll see that there's some more Pokemon like that later in the list. It's a disappointing thing to see that Sawsbuck won't be in the game. We've got Alomomola. There's the Electric line. Again, some really cool Pokemon. It's disappointing they're not in the game. And they're actually going to be emitting Meloetta. That's a mythical Pokemon. That's weird that they would emit a mythical Pokemon. Personally, I don't care for the mythicals that much, but I do know that mythical Pokemon are typically really, really popular, and to see that that's not even going to be in the game is a little just weird. Yeah, so this is a slap in the face to Kalos fans. We do not have any of the Kalos starters. Chespin, Fennekin, not even Froakie. Froakie and that whole line, and Greninja is like absolutely top tier. Became one of the most popular Pokemon in the last decade, and that doesn't happen all the time. But I feel like there was a point where Greninja was on par with Charizard and Lucario, Rayquaza. Like, I don't know why Greninja is even in the base. It's in the beta version of Sword and Shield. They must have assets. Just give us the crappy assets. I just want to be able to interact with these Pokemon in the game. It just feels so weird that they're not going to be in the game. Really, really weird. We've got Spupa and the how do you say it? Vivillon. This is another Pokemon that has maybe 20 different forms. Again, I can maybe give them a pass. That's a lot of different forms, but not really, because you have to make that base model, and then the rest of it is just a texture. So that's really silly. It's a really cool Pokemon. A lot of people have been collecting this Pokemon on the GTS right now within Pokemon Home. We've got Litleo and Pyroar, really cool Pokemon. I love the gender differences between these two Pokemon. Litleo is really cool. It's one of the only fire, actually it is the only fire normal type Pokemon line. Yeah, so there's Florges here. This is one of my favorite Pokemon in Generation 6. I don't know why it just makes no sense. I made a video last week talking about Erezu's bracelet and what Pokemon she might have, or what Pokemon might be getting a Hisuian form in the game to be her ace. And one of the Pokemon that we theorized, me and Bonsley, was Floette and or Florges rather. And I guess this would kind of cancel that out and suggest that Florges can't be an option. If you want to watch the full video, we do have it right here. I'll be real with you guys. I'm not emotionally upset about this. Again, it is disappointing. Gogoat and Skidoo will not be in Generation 8. According to the Riddler, it will not be in Generation 8, which is disappointing. I do want to do a live stream. I want to shiny hunt Gogoat at some point. I think I've been kind of holding off on doing that because I had my hopes up that maybe we could do it in Gen 8 at some point, and it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. You know, when Gogoat returns in Gen 9, hopefully we can have our vengeance. Furfrou is another Pokemon, or Furfrou is a Pokemon that does have a lot of forms again, and these forms aren't just textures, but nonetheless it is a Pokemon and it should be in the game. We actually do have, I didn't see this earlier, we do have Hoopa in the game, or not in the game. It's on the list. It's not going to be in Gen 8. I was going to say that these two Pokemon, Meloetta and Hoopa, both have different forms that are model based, but there's so many other Pokemon like Shaman who also have form changes. Yeah, there's really no excuse for not making these. And then there is a select few amount of Gen 7 Pokemon, Pikipek, and that starter route bird. I mean, the starter route birds are always, I feel like, fan favorites because that's one of the first Pokemon that you catch. We have the Yungoos line, no one's gonna be missing that. We have Crabrawler and its evolution, Crabominable. We have the Oricorio line. That is another Pokemon that's got a lot of forms. And then there's Minior, another Pokemon that has a lot of forms. Komala is here, and it's disappointing. I would have loved to see like a Hisuian form or a Galarian form where it wakes up. That could be, you know, there's some potential there for like a really cool design. So a lot of people are suggesting to me that these Pokemon are not going to be in Gen 8, and that could mean that these Pokemon are going to get regional forms in Legends Arceus or maybe another Generation 8 game. I do not think this is the case. If these Pokemon are gonna get regional forms, then the game data for the base forms of these Pokemon would also be in Generation 8, right? If you can get a Alolan Raichu, you can get base form Raichu. That's how I think this will work. And then last, and maybe least, we have Bruxish. So this is the full list of Pokemon that Riddler Ku is suggesting will not be in Generation 8. These Pokemon won't be in Sword and Shield, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, or Legends Arceus. This is what they're saying, but we don't, again, this is a rumor, it's not confirmed, and they're suggesting that we won't see these Pokemon until Generation 9. I really don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe this. If I'm being honest, I don't want to believe this because, and it could still happen, but I thought a lot of the Pokemon that were going to be introduced in BDSP and Legends Arceus were going to be brought back into Sword and Shield. And that could happen with the Pokemon that have been added to the roster and have been added to Generation 8. But I guess, I don't know, it just feels really insulting. I really do have a complex. It just feels so weird that they would not go, like they're about at the finish line. Go the extra mile, make these Pokemon, put them in Generation 8, and then for the rest of time, no one can complain about Generation 8. For the next 10, 20 years, the stain on Generation 8, it all started with the National Dex. I don't think people would be so critical about Sword and Shield if the National Dex was in place. If we had every single Pokemon in the game and that outcry did not happen, and Game Freak didn't use the excuse of making a better game as the reason why they didn't finish the Dex, then I don't think people would be so critical on the other shortcomings of Sword and Shield. Yeah, I'm disappointed right now, but there's nothing I can do about this. Hopefully this is wrong. Not, no discredit to Riddler Ku. He has been right on most things, but I do hope this one thing is maybe a misunderstanding. Or you know what could happen? Maybe Riddler Coup only has information about BDSP and Legends Arceus, and we're all assuming that that's going to be the entirety and the end of Generation 8, which it most likely could be. But then there's also the possibility that we maybe get, this is something that I've been theorizing, a Johto game made by Ilka. Maybe we get some sort of additional game and it patches these Pokemon in. Or maybe these Pokemon don't show up in Legends Arceus or BDSP, but then a couple months later, we get a free patch in Sword and Shield or one of these new games, and it will include the Pokemon on this list. Maybe they don't show up in the base version of these games, but eventually they do turn up. That's the silver lining. That's what I want to leave out on. Question of the day, which of these Pokemon are you going to miss the most? If you guys want to support the channel, become a Dusty Gogoat Channel Member today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck hunting.